Okay, Vanessa, when you're ready.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Let's try this again. Today is Tuesday, March 16th, 2021, and this is the second hearing of the month for the City of Tempe hearing officer. My name is Vanessa McDonald. I am the hearing officer. I'm going to go ahead and read something into the record before we begin our hearing this afternoon. We have a pretty short agenda, so it shouldn't take too long. So here we go. The City of Tempe hearing officer is authorized by Arizona revised statutes and the City of Tempe zoning and development code. The hearing officer has the duty to carry out both the provisions and the intent of the zoning and development code and the Tempe City Code. The hearing officer is granted the authority to conduct public hearings to decide upon the abatement of code violations occurring on properties within the City of Tempe. Code violations include, but aren't limited to, deteriorated landscaping, inoperable vehicles, deteriorated structures, storage of junk or refuse, or deteriorated swimming pools. Abatement actions are brought before the hearing officer by the city's Code Compliance Division, typically after numerous attempts at contacting the property owner to obtain voluntary compliance with the city code. The hearing officer may issue an order directing the owner, occupant, rental agent, property manager, or other responsible person to abate a code violation or authorize the city to abate the condition creating the violation. The cost of the abatement is the responsibility of the owner of the property where the violation occurred and may be collected as an assessment against the property found to be in violation. On today's agenda, we have 3 items. We have a set of minutes from March 2nd, 2021, and we have 2 property abatements. Items 4, 5, and 6 have been withdrawn as those properties have been brought into compliance with the city code. Any property owner who's aggrieved by a decision of the hearing officer may file an appeal within 14 calendar days after the hearing officer has made a decision. As such, the deadline for appealing any decision rendered today is 3 p.m. on March 30th, 2021. Joining me this afternoon, virtually, of course, from Community Development are Shelby Meyer and Drew Yoakum. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into our agenda. As I mentioned previously, we have a set of minutes from March 2nd, 2021. I had a chance to review those minutes this afternoon when they were given to me, and I believe that they accurately reflect what took place at that hearing. So I'm going to approve the minutes from March 2nd, 2021. Agenda item number 2 is a request for abatement of public nuisance items at the Roberts property. This property is located at 916 East La Jolla Drive. The applicant is the City of Tempe, and I believe represented by Julie Schofield this afternoon. Ms. Schofield, are you there?
Thank you, Madam Hearing Officer. This is Julie Schofield. I am a Code Compliance Officer with the City of Tempe. I'm here today to ask or request a 180-day open abatement for the property at 916 East La Jolla Drive here in Tempe. This case has been open since October 6th of 2020. I went to the property and confirmed that there was multiple dead trees in the backyard of this property. I have had multiple conversations with the owner and also giving her pamphlets for the landscaping program and the HEART program, also answering general questions regarding time frames and how to take care of the property. I ended up mailing a final notice in November, and then in January of 2021, I did issue a citation for the deteriorated landscaping, and at this time she also had an unregistered vehicle in her driveway, and she received notices for those as well. When I went to the property today, most of the dead trees have been taken care of. There's a small amount of tree debris in the backyard still, and the front yard is now has overheight grass and weeds. The vehicle has been removed from the property as of today. I'd like to show you photos now of the property showing what it looked like as of earlier. As you can see, this is the front yard and there is overheight grass and weeds. And my next photo shows that there's some small amount of debris left, not a whole lot, but still enough that we can clean up and kind of rake up and clean up any overheight grass and weeds. As stated before, I'm looking for a 180-day open abatement for just the landscaping, front and backyard. And like I said, this is at 916 East La Jolla Drive.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, it does look like the property owner has made, a measurable amount of progress, but not enough to be considered brought into compliance with the code. It seems like she's done the bulk of her efforts in the backyard, and it's been kind of at the expense of the front yard. I think my hope would be that we could go ahead and you could have the 180-day open abatement within the next couple of weeks. She may be able to finish cleaning up the front and backyards, and it could go away. But nevertheless, I agree with your assessment of the property, and I think you need the tool because it has been quite a while that you've been dealing with this property. So I'd like to give you that. Mr. Yoakum, do we have any member of the public wanting to speak on this item or the property owner?
We have not received any communication from the public at this time.
Thank you. Well then, Ms. Schofield, given the fact that I agree with your assessment, the property owner has not provided input, nor has any other member of the public provided input, I'm going to go ahead and grant your 180-day open abatement request for the Roberts property located at 916 East La Jolla Drive.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Moving on to agenda item number 3. This is a request for approval to abate public nuisance items at the Tiet Gen property. I believe that's how you pronounce it. It's located at 5402 South Heather Drive. The applicant is the city of Tempe, again represented by Julie Schofield. Ms. Schofield?
Thank you again, Madam Hearing Officer, Julie Schofield. I am here today to ask for a one-time cleanup abatement for a very large dead pine tree on the north side of the property located at 5402 South Heather Drive. I have received a couple of complaints for this dead tree, and I started this case back in August 3rd of 2020, where I sent out a notice and a final notice between now and then. I have had contact with the owner, and due to financial reasons and medical reasons, I did not issue a citation to this owner, and we went to an abatement. But he was provided pamphlets for landscaping programs and also the HEART program. I've given him until, like I said, since August 3rd of 2020 to take down the tree. And as you'll see in my present photos of today, the dead tree still stands in front of the property. It's on the northeast corner. And so that's another view of the property. So as stated before, I'm just seeking the one-time abatement to have the tree taken down, and then I can close the case.
Okay. Thank you. Mr. Yoakum, do we have anyone on the line, either the property owner or any other member of the public?
We do not have anybody online, and nobody has contacted our office at this time.
Okay. Thank you. Well, Ms. Schofield, again, I agree with your assessment and, agree that it is only requires a one-time abatement because when the tree goes down, it goes away. But I definitely think it needs to be taken down. You know, especially, you know, if a monsoon would come up and there would be a big storm, it very likely could get blown over and, you know, cause harm to property or possibly, you know, a member of the public. So I'm going to go ahead and approve your one-time abatement request for the Tietjem property located, let me just pull the address up real quick, at 5402 South Heather Drive. Thank you very much, Ms. Schofield.
Thank you.
That concludes our agenda for this afternoon. As I mentioned previously, agenda items 4, 5, and 6 had been withdrawn by code compliance since those properties are now in compliance. Mr. Yoakum, do we have any staff comments?
Yes, the next hearing officer meeting will be held on April 6th at 5 p.m. on Tempe 11 and WebEx.
Okay. Thank you. Well, if that's it, that concludes our hearing this afternoon, and we will see you again on April 6th.